Alrighty. Hi everyone. I am Harshil, and today we have with us esteemed guest Joshua, who is building Postal.app. How are you, man?
I'm really good. Hi, everybody.
Awesome. Yeah, so just for context, Joshua is building Postal. I was just playing around on Twitter and I found his product and I just went to try it out. I put in my website and everything. And then I just gave it some YouTube videos and it was able to produce such banger tweets. I was like, holy shit, I need to talk to the founder of this product. And then I like just went through his profile and I was like, let's connect. So yeah, here we are talking. So yep, that's it. So cool. I firstly wanna start with this thing. How did you land on the idea of Postal?
But that's a long story. We have been actually building for, I think, a couple months now, since almost like 6 months. Last year, I think we
Hmm.
started last year in November, and I've
Hmm.
actually met my two co-founders on Twitter. So we just reconnected by just seeing each other posts in the
Hmm.
Bit in Public community. We have stopped posting there since, but basically we hopped on a few calls and then
Hmm.
we discovered that for our next project, we want to build something around creating content far easily because just in our day-to-day life, juggling like day jobs, building and content creation,
Hmm.
we found out that content creation takes up like so much time. And at that time, I've been doing some content creation, like some freelance work around that. I've been writing like Reddit posts and people asked me to write also tweets for them. And I've been
Hmm.
doing that for a while. So I knew there was like some demand. And
Hmm.
because at some point I got so many, like the workload, my personal workload with the freelance clients I've got at that point kind of exploded. So I came up with like a super hacky way to automate some parts of that content creation workflow, basically. And then I showed that Robin, my co-founder, and we came up with that. We just said, okay, let's productize this workflow,
Yep.
polish it a lot. And then at the very beginning, we launched like roughly 3 months ago.
Hmm.
We launched something that was way too broad, and
Hmm.
we basically set up the whole SaaS. So we target like Reddit, LinkedIn, and
Hmm.
X at the same time. And we discovered that something like that, which is super broad in the beginning, is really hard to market and it's kind
Yep.
of overwhelming. So we made a pivot, like I think 3 weeks in after the official launch,
Hmm.
and decided to focus like only on X for now. And then
Interesting.
once we nail X, we are going to expand to other platforms. So basically go back to the roots. But yeah, that's how we came up with the idea. And there was a lot of planning and research going into it. So that's why we only launched like 3 months, I think, yeah, 3 months ago.
Interesting. Yeah. So what made you, what observation I would say made you take the call to drop off from LinkedIn and other platform and just purely focus on Twitter?
So we discovered that we made a really, really basic launch tweet three
Hmm.
months ago, and we
Hmm.
made a no-brain offer. We just said, hey, we're looking for early adopters basically, and you can get like a year's access for, I think it was like 45 euros or something.
Hmm.
So it's like nothing, right?
Yep.
And then we got like 10 users immediately, and
Nice.
just seeing how they interact with it, what platforms they shows when they create the content.
Hmm.
Like in the data, we use Posthawk to analyze like
What's
the
the
usage and everything. We saw that all of our users and the ones that joined before the initial early adopters, they were using it only for X, and they
Hmm.
came from X. So X was the thing they were most interested in, and then it was fairly easy to just say, okay, let's concentrate on X, drop the other parts, and then once we nail X, we can move on to LinkedIn, we can move on to maybe Reddit. I'm not
Hmm.
sure if it's actually fitting in something like Postal, but the other text-based social media platforms, right?
Yep.
So that was fairly easy. And once we did that, it was also far more easy to market everything to
Hmm.
and basically focus our efforts.
Interesting. Yeah. So you just like focused on how users are interacting and boom, you realize that's a good thing because a lot of people don't like focus on how users are interacting and going their own way. I was going through your profile and I just found that your first ever project was like something known as Wake Up Call. So I'd love to know about that.
But yeah, like my first, so I'm not the best, like in our team, I'm like the least technical person. But
Hmm.
I found out when I started on X, which is like, I think I started last year, September. So not even a full year. I basically wanted to learn how to build like basic websites. And
Hmm.
I made a website that basically lets you input your age and select a country, and based on the average life expectancy in that country, you will see how long you got to live.
Oh, damn.
And I made like a very simple visualization, basically showing you white dots for each year you have, and red, like the
Oh,
dots turned red
what
depending on how much you lift. So it's basically just a wake up call in the sense that you get to visualize how much you
how much?
actually already lift and how much of that is left. And the thing that got me started on X basically was after realizing, okay, I finally finished something, put something out there, I realized that nobody's going to see that
Hmm.
except for like friends and family. And I
Hmm.
was super underwhelming. So I decided to make a Reddit post. I've never posted anything on Reddit.
Hmm.
I think on the same day I got the website deployed, I created a Reddit account and I did like a fairly simple Reddit post in the side
Hmm.
project subreddit. And that one blew up overnight. I got like, I think overnight 1,500 unique visitors. And then over the next day, it
And
rose
how
up to,
many upvotes did the Reddit post get?
I actually don't know. I think like 100 something, but it was not super viral, but it was super, let's say it was, I think, in top and hot in that subreddit
Nice.
for quite some time, but it drove a lot of traffic. Like drove a lot of traffic. And that was a really pivotal moment, kind of because I saw, okay, I can put out a piece of content
Hmm.
and people will check out whatever I did. And I've
Hmm.
never done something like that before in my life.
Hmm.
So I couldn't really share this. I was super excited about this Reddit post, and I couldn't really share it because I've got like no builder friends in my circle, right?
Hmm.
And I remembered in that moment that I heard on some podcast, on some business podcast about the tech space and the build in public space on Twitter.
Brilliant.
So I created my X account the same day and I started posting. And I wanted just to share like um, how crazy it is that I got like 1,000 unique visitors,
Yeah.
and that was like the start of my
Journey.
X journey.
Interesting. Everyone I've talked to so far is like they are either on Reddit or some platform, something blows up, and like somehow they end up discovering Twitter and like their world changes. So, like in that way, I think Twitter for fellow builders, indie hackers is like one of the best thing to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when it comes to tech, startup founders and builders, like Twitter's by far the best space
Yep.
to build and to grow like an audience.
Yep.
And I think I want to expand to like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube too. And now I've finally found like now finally I have the time to,
Hmm.
because I think Twitter, depending on what you do, is by far I think the best to connect with other people. And then
Hmm.
comes business. But I think there are other platforms. In the end, it always depends on what you do. But
Hmm.
there might be other platforms where the business growth is better.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. I have heard from people that like some people have actually found like Instagram to work well because there are some more or less technical people who need technical help. So because Twitter is a lot more tech oriented.
Yeah.
And yeah, and after that, I mean, you went on. I was reading your bio as well, just totally observing. Then you like built something city quiz
Oh, yeah.
in Morocco.
Yeah. I met that was before meeting my current co-founders for Postal. I
Hmm.
was like, okay, let's do something else just for fun.
Hmm.
So I posted something saying, hey, I'm going to leave for Morocco
Hmm.
and gonna stay there for a month. Is there somebody that might want to join and build something together just for fun?
Hmm.
And actually somebody DM'd me showing me basically, hey, just bought a ticket.
Oh,
Will
nice.
be will be nice to meet you. And then I've met this person. We have actually linked up then and built something in like, I think wasn't even 6 hours.
Yeah.
Like we've met 2 days in a row, just sat down and as quickly as possible made this game. I mean, the game led to nowhere, but it was like a very fun experience and just another
I guess
project
it,
done.
it showed you that within 2 days you can build something substantial enough.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice. And like before going full time, would love to know more about like who was Joshua before going full time on Postal.
I was studying business administration a couple of years ago, sadly,
Hmm.
because I should have done something which is more
Why
hard skilled.
sadly?
Sadly, because I think it's depending on where you want to go, I don't think it's one of the best majors. It's like
Hmm.
you learn nothing. That's my opinion.
Okay.
You learn
Hot take.
nothing that is really a hard skill,
Hmm.
right? But in the end, there are not really a lot of majors where you come out of that 3 years with like a specific skill.
Hmm.
In a sense, it really turned me away from anything that is business
Hmm.
oriented within like a big corp
Hmm.
environment. So I knew in that, like, I found out that I won't do something business related in something like a big corporation. It turned me really off from like consulting and stuff like that. That I knew right away that's something I don't want to do. So at the very end, I realized, because I took I took a class in data science, and I realized, okay, I have to do something related to that, because it
Right.
was far more easy than all the other subjects. And then I did an internship, and with that internship at the last year at uni, I got into just a normal corporate job, and I started saving for, I think, 3 years. Since I've been doing that internship, I knew I'm going to quit at some point to go full time, or either like into a freelance direction. But I didn't know at that point, I didn't know what it would be. So kind of spent the last 3 years figuring out what that is going to be. And then step by step, I kind of transitioned into where I'm now.
Nice. So you had a good 3 year journey figuring out what product are you gonna be, and what was that like? Everyone like this bridge like you want need to cross between like should I go full time on the product or not? Like what was that moment for you that like made you like boom, I'll go full time on this?
Yeah. I knew at a very young age that I won't do a 9 to 5 or corporate job forever. So what I needed before saying, okay, I'm going to quit, is like, I need a plan, a very specific plan, and I basically a clear mission that I can focus on. And I already got like the savings. I've saved like 3 years, and I've got now 24 months of runway, depending on where I live, right? And I think it was like 1 month in, where I was like, okay, I might be able to quit on this. And then I think a second month after launch, I saw actually how many users, like I saw some people of our existing paying users just use the app. Like I watch almost every screen recording in Post Talk just to see how people interact with the app. And there was something that made me go, damn, they actually, like, one of the paying users, they're like spending hours in the app to create content. And that's that's a super strong signal for me, because if we find just more people like that person, and we have got like, I think now at this point we got like 20 like that use the app almost every single day to create content. That was the signal I needed, basically seeing that there is something that people really need. And now it's all about figuring out, okay, how can we get more people of that and onto the app? So what I needed is to see that people love the product, that some people love the product.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely love the product. I can tell you clearly. I've recommended it to multiple of my friends who are into writing or people like for managing socials of funnel, and everyone has given the same review that they like really like the product.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And how did you land on the name Postal? Is that very random or is there any intent?
We have been brainstorming a bit before. Like, I think I had the second call with Robin, my co-founder, and then we were like, okay, let's get to work. So we set up the GitHub repo, and then it was like, okay, let's come up with a name. And I think Postal is like very
neat,
similar sounding to posting, and it's just, I think it's easy to remember or easy to pronounce as well, because we thought like, hey, best case, we have a lot of product-led growth, or like, how do you say, when you tell your friends about the product, what's the term for that?
As in like easy to remember.
No, what I mean is like mouth-to-mouth propaganda, actually. Sorry? Mouth-to-mouth propaganda? Is that the term for it?
Okay, got it. What is it called? I understand what you're saying. I can't.
Okay, that's a good thing. So basically, something that should be in a, like, if you tell your friends about it, it should be easy to pronounce. Like, it should go easy within a sentence. So if people ask you, for example, hey, what do you use for content creation?
Yeah.
You should just be like Postal. Postal. That should be very easy for all the product names.
Nice. Yeah, that's a easy name to remember. Postal.app, boom. A single word, easy to remember. That's a good. And something I really, like about your profile is you have a very strong and supportive audience. And a lot of builders out there are trying to build in public. So it might sound cliche, but do you think there's anything you have done right / any tips for people who are trying to build a good presence on Twitter?
It really depends. If you just want followers, there are many ways to do it. It kind of depends on your, let's say, end goal. if you want to use, because there are some people also in the build in public space and they're really active in the build in public community. They use their profile almost only for business purposes. So they they create a lot of value content, and that value content gets a lot of attention, and basically they funnel that attention to their agency service or their paid community or something like that. So if you are going for something like that, I would just advise study those accounts in your niche and have a real close look at the content they pump out, and then you're going to maximize for value. If you're building something, if you want to grow an audience that is more centered around you, so kind of a personal brand, yeah, then you have to still do the same. You have to study content. You have to know how to write a good hook, what kind of content you should put out there. And then I think it's more about storytelling and being authentic. So it's really hard it really depends on the goals you have, but we have basically taught a friend who just started on X I think not even one month ago. We have taught him everything that we know, and he grew to 2,000 followers, and I think not even 30 days. And one of the biggest things we told him is like that you should have a cool story to tell, and you shouldn't be too shy to show yourself. Like a lot of people, they hide away behind like anime profile pictures or something like that, right? So put yourself out there, show yourself, show what you build, and not only tell, like make it interesting to follow you. Do you have something? At the end of the day, like people, if your posts don't elicit any emotions, people won't engage with it. You have to post something that hooks the reader in.
Yeah.
By crafting a really good hook.
Yeah.
And then people will read the rest of the post. And depending on what direction you get, it really depends on what you're focusing on. But I can tell you what I personally do. I'm focusing on telling my story. And each time I do that, I'm like, okay, how can I make this engaging? So either I get like a nice picture or make a nice video. And then depending on what type of post it is, if it's either a value post or something that is more leaning towards getting viral, a lot of attention. It will be either very short or very long and in depth. So if I want to share something like practical tips, I'm going to craft a really good hook with a big promise, like saying, hey, this is how for example, this is how I am building MVPs in 30 minutes with Lovable.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of those posts blow up, right? Or something else like, forget cursor, Cloud Code is everything you need. This is how you use Cloud Code to the max. These are like good hooks. And then after that, you have to deliver all the value. You have to go really in depth, because if you only spam good hooks without the real source, people won't follow you. Because basically you have to, like, every content unit is based on like a good hook, then delivering on that hook, and then maybe a CTA or a resolution at the end. And you can repeat that just over and over again. And I think you can also apply that for every type of content. So if it's your personal journey, if it's value content, I would advise people starting out, study big accounts, study their content, and just have a look at how they write and how often they post and what type of posts per day. So I would, depending on what you're focusing on, I would do like a 70% focus, 30% split, and 70% of your content being like value and growth, so leaning towards getting viral and a lot of attention, and optimizing for bookmarks and engagement. And then the other 30% is just about you, showing that you are a real person. Because if you never show yourself and you offer, for example, a service of some kind, there's something that is going to miss, kind of, and that's going to be trust. Because people don't really get a sense of how it would be to work with you if you never show yourself on your timeline. Like, what I advise a lot of people that ask me that is like, let your personality bleed into your content from time to time.
And I think people like really love seeing the person behind the camera. And as you said, it builds more trust. I mean, fundamentally, that's a social platform and we are humans.
Yeah.
A person wants to see a person so that he can trust him and he can relate to his story. For example, I see your daily posts about day zero of everything and all this journey you have been putting out. And that's how I relate to you. So everyone should understand that. So that is, I think, something really crucial.
Yeah.
about it, right? And don't you think you ever like felt camera shy? Was
Dude, yes, like I'm like super shy actually. Like a couple years ago, I could have done nothing what I'm doing right now. Like I'm slowly building myself up to
Hmm.
be really relaxed in front of the camera. I want
Hmm.
to get like I really admire people that can get in front of the camera and craft like a really engaging and fun piece of content.
Hmm.
And it feels like they're not talking at the camera, they're not talking at you. It feels more like they're talking with you,
Hmm.
like you're the friend and they haven't seen you in a long time. That's where I
Hmm.
want to get to. But to be honest, it's not something I'm super used to. But with every video I record, it gets
Hmm.
just a little bit easier.
Easier.
And something I'm learning slowly is that the best pieces of content in video or in text,
Hmm.
most of the time, they convey, you can feel the energy of whoever
Hmm.
made that piece of the content. Like my best performing, I think I posted now 11 videos on TikTok, and
Hmm.
there was like one that performed twice as good as every other video. And I think in that video, I managed to convey my energy far better to the audience or to the viewer than in the other ones. So it's about, in the end, it comes down to being authentic or being at least able to, let's say, transform your emotions
Yeah.
or convey them really good to the viewer. And I'm slowly getting from like a really camera shy person to somebody like I'm building myself up to be that person who can do that.
Yeah.
And like to be honest, like I've like the first TikTok
Hmm.
I recorded, I was dreading that one super long. Like it took me I think 2 hours because I recorded and then I messed up again. Recorded, messed up again, and that was like 2 hours, and I was already late because I record the TikToks like as the last thing before going to bed. Like it's the
Hmm.
last thing I do at the day.
Yeah. I see
Uh,
your video. It's almost like the night time, the environment. I know that. I mean, right here you have given everyone the social media playbook.
yeah, I want to show that would be like awesome if I show everybody like step by step how to like build an audience,
Yeah.
even if you have no experience in it
Hmm.
and you're not camera shy, like you're not like the most
Outward. First.
outward person, like you're not that one person that's super outgoing and super
Hmm.
good at speaking basically in front of the camera. But I want to show that you can get there and that you can still achieve that. And there were like two persons that that have inspired me a lot. I think one of them is Yoni builds or Yoni does it. I'm not sure
Okay.
if you have seen him. He builds like the brain rot app, and he has been posting every single day on Instagram, and
Hmm.
he grew like to 100,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh.
And he started just posting one video a day, I think. And
Hmm.
a couple of weeks ago, he launched his app
Hmm.
and was like super successful. And a friend like Robin was following him for a long time, and he showed me his account, and I was super inspired by that. And another person
Hmm.
that also inspired me a lot was like Jack Fricks. Like he also did the same stuff, but I think a bit longer. I think almost for 3 years actually. And now he grew his SaaS to I think now 15,000 MRR, and
Nice.
he's like crushing it. And just seeing him like showing up every single day, posting videos,
Hmm.
growing his SaaS, that's like I want to get to that level and past that. Like I
Hmm.
want to, of course, with my own twist. And
Your own
now
journey.
yeah, my own journey basically. And in the end of the day, like if it leads nowhere, I've learned how to speak with the camera. I've learned how to create videos, and I have like in some way it feels like writing a diary for myself. Because
Yeah.
every night, like at the end of every day, I sit down and I'm thinking, okay, what have I done today? What were like the nice and what's something today that happened to me or that I've done that I want to share with that I want to document and want to share with a friend, basically. That's how I think about it.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's a journey itself, and you are just doc also in a way documenting your journey. I think
Yeah,
it will be nice when sometimes you can reflect back on your journey and be like, bam, I went from your first video to your 100th video, how crazy will be the growth, and from your 100
yeah.
to the 1,000th, how crazy will be the growth. So it's a journey in itself. I mean, crazy stuff, man. You have had a crazy journey. And with this, where do you think, like, what's your vision? because you're postal and you're documenting. I think you're the kind of person who is more focused on the journey rather than the destination kind of person. But like still, I would love to know what's your vision. What do you see? How do you visualize your life?
It really depends on like what time we are speaking, but overall, I want to keep doing this. Like if I get our startup to a point where it covers and really where we can live off it and we make a lot of profit and we keep surviving to do this another day, I'm super happy. And kinda, I'm already living that. Like I'm living my dream life already in the
Yeah.
sense that I've got the money to do this and
Yeah.
I've got the money to do this tomorrow. Now I have to get to a point where I don't keep eating into my runway and to my savings, but actually the startup we're building covers everything. And then to be honest, then I'm good. And I just want to get better at the things I do.
Awesome.
That's like to some degree, I already live my dream life. I think I will be moving. So my two co-founders, they live in Berlin. Sadly, I don't live in Berlin. I'm like 8 hours away from them in Germany. So we work remotely all the time. Like we sit in video calls and just work from the moment we wake up to 1 a.m. and then repeat. And it's like just interrupted by short breaks. So I realized that, okay, this is a setup where we perform. This works out for us in the team. So I asked myself, okay, how can I max out my current situation? I think I will be like leaving Germany actually and relocating to Southeast Asia just to stretch the runway and live somewhere
A bit cheap.
Yes, I would love to get back to my roots. I'm half Thai and I would love to live in Thailand, learn the language again. Like just by living here for over 24 years, I've lost the ability to speak Thai fluently. I would love to regain that and then build from there on. And like we are already building remotely. They come to visit me anytime they want. So
Yeah, nice.
that would be, I think that's how my life will look like in 1 year. I will be doing this from Thailand.
Awesome. Just for context, I'm also from India. I'm from India, so we are another South Asian buddy. So I mean, if you ever land in India, would love to meet
Dude,
up.
I will hit you up. Yeah. I want to travel to India at some point and take the time
Yeah,
to.
happy to host you, man.
That
It's
would be awesome.
a great place.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to do is like get a motorcycle and just from the south to the north. I
Nice.
don't know how long that will take, but if I ever get to a point where the business is running and I can take some time, that's one of the side quests I want to do, basically.
Nice. That's a good goal to have. I mean, I saw your post. You also have a passion for surfing.
Yes, yes.
And you have your surfboard behind you, which could totally, even if I didn't know it, it totally shows it off.
Yeah, I want to. I think in the next months, I'm going to sell everything except for a few martial arts, like sport clothes, my Mac, and my surfboard. And then I'm going to leave to Thailand and just
Nice.
build 10 hours a day and do martial arts and surf for a bit.
Yeah, focus and logged in.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. It was super duper great having you on the pod, right? And for anyone who's watching, you can check out Postal below and you can drop a follow to Joshua. He's soon gonna be hitting 100K followers, so get in touch with him before that, so that you can get his mentorship before he becomes too big to reply back. Right? Awesome. Thank you, man.
Thanks for having me, man.